A quadratic expression is of the type ax squared plus bx plus c. Quadratic coming from the Latin quadrus meaning square, so that's why we have x squared there. Note that a cannot equal 0, you must have the x squared term in there, but b or c or both could be 0. So for example, you've got 2x squared plus 3x subtract 4, that's a quadratic. X squared plus 2x without the number on the end would be a quadratic. And 5x squared plus 7 without the x term would be a quadratic. If a equals 1, so we have a single x squared, we call this a monic. If we write a number in terms of its factors, e.g. 15 is 3 times 5, this is factorising. In algebra, as we have seen, when we multiply or expand brackets, we end up with a quadratic expression there on the right hand side. If we take the quadratic expression and go backwards and rewrite it in terms of the two brackets, we call that factorising. So in algebra, rewriting a quadratic expression into this two bracket form is factorising. We have already expanded brackets in a previous lesson. Here's a quick recap. We write x plus 3 and x plus 2 down the sides of the grid. X times x gives x squared, 3 times x gives plus 3x, 2 times x gives plus 2x, and the 2 times 3 gives plus 6. So when we take these four terms and put them together, we've got x squared, the 2x and the 3x make the 5x, and we've got plus 6. So if we look at our final answer, we can go back and think, where does the plus 5 come from? It came from the plus 2x plus 3x. And where did those numbers come from? The original brackets, 2 and 3. So the number of x you have is found by adding the two numbers in the brackets. And the number on the end is found by multiplying the two numbers in the bracket. Let's just check in our second example. Where does the plus 2 come from? It came from the plus 5 and the subtract 3, which were the two numbers in the brackets. And the subtract 15 on the end comes from multiplying those two numbers in the brackets, the plus 5 and the negative 3, to give negative 15. So we now have a quick way of thinking about a quadratic in order to factorise it. Which two numbers multiply together to give plus 6 and add together to give plus 5? And after a moment's thought, I hope you've come up with x plus 2, x plus 3. A quick note on this symbol here, the triple equal sign, that's used when one expression is always equivalent to another expression. In example 2, our thinking is exactly the same. Which two numbers multiply together to give plus 10 and add together to give plus 7? And after a moment's thought, did you come up with plus 5 and plus 2? I hope so, because 5 times 2 multiplied together give 10, and 5 plus 2 when added together give plus 7. And note once again we've used the triple equal sign. In example 3, our thinking is exactly the same. Which two numbers multiplied together make the number on the end negative 4, and when added together give us the number of x? We need to be a little bit careful here, because if we look at the number on the end, it's a negative, so the two numbers multiplied together, one must be a negative, one must be a positive. Which negative number and positive number multiplied together give negative 4, but when added together give us positive 3. Did you get it? X plus 4, x minus 1. Let's check. 4 and negative 1 added together give 3, and 4 multiplied by negative 1 give negative 4. That must be the right answer. And finally, with example 4, which two numbers multiply to give positive 8, but when added together give negative 6? Now, to give positive 8, the numbers must either be both positive or both negative. But if we are adding the numbers together to give a negative number, it must mean that the two numbers being multiplied together must both be negative. So which two negative numbers multiplied together give positive 8, and when added together give negative 6? And it's negative 4 and negative 2. Quick check. Multiply negative 4 by negative 2, we do get positive 8. And when we add negative 4 and negative 2 together, we do get negative 6. And one final point, it doesn't matter which way around you write the brackets. You could have written your answer as x subtract 2 in the first bracket and x subtract 4 in the second bracket.